So this is a music podcast. If you're listening on the Bobbycast, and if you're listening on Mike D's podcast, it's a movie podcast. So it's a music movie we're doing. So this will go on to both of the podcasts. Eddie's also here too to talk with us.
This is great.
Well, what happened was I was listening to a Judd Apatow interview because he's promoting The King of Staten Island.
Yeah.
And he did that movie. And he was talking about movies that he did that didn't do so well as far as making a bunch of money. And he said, hey, I loved Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story. And I thought, I'd never seen that before. So I hit Mike up and I said, hey, you want to do a podcast on both of our podcasts? Well, since it's music, I'll review it and you blah, blah, blah. Here we are. We're all
Had
here.
Mike seen it?
I'd seen it when it first came out, yeah. I had to rewatch it.
What was your thought of it before you went into it the second time? Did you remember liking it or no?
I remember liking it and thinking it was funny, but I think I kind of had a different outlook on it this time around.
Well, so it's a music parody movie. Mm-hmm. It's parodying two things. One, these biopics in music. It's a whole movie parodying how biopics are made. And then two, Walk the Line, Johnny Cash. It's like two parodies happening at the same time. So if you haven't seen it, first let's say if we liked it or not. I thought it was really funny because I'd seen all the movies it was parodying, which is Ray, which is the drug stuff. A lot was a lot of the Ray stuff.
Yes.
They're like, Ray, you don't want the heroin.
Yes.
and then Dewey Cox, he walks in the first time and he's young and they're smoking weed.
Yeah.
And Tim
Meadows.
Tim Meadows is like, man, you don't want this weed.
Walk away, Dewey.
And Dewey's like, what's weed? And he's like, well, it makes you feel good. And he's like, yeah? He goes, and it's not addictive at all. And he goes, huh? Really? And he goes, yeah, and it's actually not that expensive either, Dewey.
But
He's like, we don't want any of this.
You don't want it, though.
And that was a recurring thing too, where the drugs got bigger and harder every time, and it was like,
because that's kind of what Johnny Cash happened, like in Walk the Line. You know, he'd walk in, they'd be doing drugs, like, let me try some of that.
The funny part of it too was, because a lot of these, even Bohemian Rhapsody, which happened way after the fact, Queen just goes boom, 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 and they're superstars in the movie because you don't have 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to do the actual Queen biopic. But in Walk Hard, Dewey, who is trying to make music, he starts playing, and his first song he ever plays at a school talent show, the kids just get up and start dancing like 5 seconds into the first song, and then a big riot erupts. Like, that music, the priest is up going, that's devil music. So, I thought the whole theme up was pretty funny. I would give it 3.5 out of 5 guitars.
Okay.
You?
The second time around, I gave it 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Eddie?
Listen, man, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I'd give it 4.5 out of 5 because I remember loving it so much.
I wonder if John C. Reilly was the person that they wanted to do that movie originally. Because I could see Will Ferrell doing that movie.
Totally.
In a lot of movies, they don't get the main guy if they didn't write it for the main guy or if the main guy didn't write it.
Yeah.
So I thought John C. Reilly was awesome in it. I think he was really singing too.
Yeah, that's really him.
Yeah, because it sounded like his voice.
That's actually his voice, yeah.
It starts off, and John C. Reilly's a kid, and his little brother is there too.
Yeah.
And this is very Johnny Cashy because Johnny Cash's little brother died.
That's correct.
His brother died.
Same storyline.
He was a kid. Mm-hmm. And John C. Reilly accidentally cuts him in half with a machete because they're having a fun machete. But they're doing all these things where they should die at the beginning of it, and they get out of it unscathed. And then they're having a machete fight at the end, and the covers are on, a little sword fight, and then he cuts his brother in half.
Yeah.
And so,
and then didn't he do like a blues song like I cut my brother?
Well, he goes over to the. It's fresh to me. I just saw it. He goes over to the where the blue. He goes to like the gas station, like the general store, and there's a blues guy over there playing in the corner, and he's like, "I'm curious about that music." And the guy goes, "You don't live a life yet to have the blues." And so he takes the guitar and he goes, "Well, I know I never played guitar, but I." And then all of a sudden he hits one chord and it's terrible. And the guy goes, "Well, do your finger like this." So he puts his finger down and he goes.
And Dewey's like a kid, right? At this.
Yeah, he's like 6.
Okay.
And then he starts singing a perfectly played blues song, and he's like, "I think I got it. I got the blues. I killed my brother."
It's pretty good for your first time.
Yeah. So, and the whole story is him trying to not avenge his brother's death, but he told his brother before he died he would try to be alive because his brother was super talented as a kid.
Yeah.
And so then you follow Dewey, but except for the tiny first part kid, John C. Reilly's playing every age of the kid. Yeah. From like 15.
They just dress him differently.
Yeah, they just dress him, but he says his age outwardly. He goes, "Well, I'm only 15," even though he's an adult man.
That's so funny to me.
If you're way inside, I could see where this movie would be hilarious. I was laughing out loud on a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Caitlin, my girlfriend, did not love it. She thought it was okay. Maybe below okay because
How many times did she say this is stupid?
I don't think she would want to take away my joy. So at the end when it was over, she was like, it's kind of down.
Okay, all right.
But I don't think that she doesn't work in music. She's not a big Johnny Cash fan. She hasn't seen all those biopics. So it wasn't really meant for her. What was your favorite part of the movie, Mike?
I really thought the Bob Dylan parody stuff was pretty funny when he like starts changing his style and starts doing Bob Dylan. He's like, maybe Bob Dylan sounds like me.
Yeah, he goes to a press conference because he's trying to find out who he is as an artist. And he goes to a press conference and they're like, hey man, what do you say to people who say you sound like Bob Dylan? He goes, what do you say to Bob Dylan when he say he sounds like me? And then it cuts to him and he's doing a terrible Bob Dylan impression of like Ed Sullivan.
Weird, obscure references to things.
And he's like the three-eyed monkey. And he sounds like Bob Dylan. Don't look out the toaster. Yeah, that's
dumb.
funny.
I love it.
Eddie, how long ago did you watch that movie?
When it first came out, I remember I'm such a Pearl Jam fan, and I remember that
Eddie Vedder's in it.
Yeah, he's in it.
He's in it. So that's why I was like, oh, well, I have to watch this. And so, I mean, I watched it when it came out, but the part that always comes up that I remember is the drug scene. I'm just like, it starts with weed and then cocaine and all. It's like, you don't want this, Dewey.
At the end, they're what are they taking at the very, very end? He goes, no, I'm not going to. He goes,
Viagra,
acid?
isn't it?
What is it?
Viagra, isn't it?
Oh, Viagra, because he's old. And he goes, no temptations for me. And he walks out, and the Temptations are literally singing in the hallway. And they're like, I guess you. And he's like, no.
The Temptations.
But the other recurring thing is he always grabs sinks and
right.
rips
He
the
pulls them
sinks
out
off and slams it down.
Right. Did Johnny Cash do that in I Walk the Line? I think that's why they do that,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
Yeah, he does do that.
He
I
does
think they
do
do
that.
that joke over it.
Yeah.
It's like every bathroom he goes into, he gets mad and just rips the sink off the wall.
And then don't they do the what's he doing? He's like, he takes that time to be quiet with his hands up against the wall.
At the very beginning, it starts and ends like
That's
that.
right. That's
Like
right.
before he plays the show, he has to think about his entire life.
They're like, Mr. Cash, 1 minute. And the guy goes, you get him a second. You got to think about a life here. And that's how the whole movie starts. And it starts beginning all the way up to that moment.
Before every show, he's thinking about his whole life. See, dude, that's
And it's
too
even
funny.
funnier talking about, because you think about the great comedies of our day, it's funnier the second, third, and fourth time because you can laugh about all the funny things with your friends.
Yeah.
And I'd probably watch it again now and think it was even funnier because I would catch things. Kristen Wiig is in it playing his wife.
Yeah.
Playing Johnny Cash's first wife, basically. They had all the kids. And then Jenna Fisher, who plays Pam on The Office, ends up being June Carter. I don't think that was her singing, though.
I don't think so, no.
Because that person had a really great voice. And it sounded a little different than Jenna Fisher. Eddie, what was your favorite part of the movie that you can remember? Oh, you said the drugs?
The drugs, yes. For
Mike,
sure.
yours was the Bob Dylan?
Yeah.
My favorite part of the movie. There were just so many parts that I would like, because she would fall asleep and I would be laughing, my body would be shaking. When he was trying to make the perfect song and he had hired people from every country.
Oh, yeah.
It sounded like 5 songs at once being made in the recording studio. It's like the 70s. He's trying to make the perfect anthem for his life. And it's like Aborigines. It's like surfers. It's like a goat is doing an instrument. He's like, I'm trying to make the perfect song. He's spending all this money and he can't make the perfect song. That to me is funny because that's every artist before they get old, but after they've been young.
That's right. Trying to change it up.
Trying to change it and find that right thing to get them back on the map because they're not all the way off.
He's like, I think this goat has more vocals on this song than I do.
Yeah, the band. And he goes back to reunite the band at the end. Then they go, and because he's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is why they all get back together. And so the part where I laughed out loud maybe the most was at the very end because he's playing, and then the crowd loves the song. His manager dies in the middle of the song, and then is back as a ghost on side stage with his dad and his brother.
the manager
He dies and comes back as a ghost that quick. You see him go, oh, he died, and all of a sudden he's like, what the crap? And he's on side stage as a ghost. That was funny. And then Dewey Cox does his song at the Lifetime Achievement Award and plays it, and the crowd loves it. And he's like, this is what life's about. Boom, boom, boom. And then on the bottom of the screen, it freezes and goes, Dewey Cox died 3 minutes later.
That's too funny, man.
It was, and then talking about it, it's even funnier to me.
Did he hang out with the Beatles at one point? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, so here, Elvis, first of all.
Oh, right, Elvis.
Elvis was coming off the stage, and Elvis kept karate chopping him. Hey, man.
That's right, I do remember that.
That was a side stage funny part.
He didn't like that.
Another part was when they were coming off side stage, him and his guitar player, he was like, "Hey man, let's trade girls tonight. I'm gonna take that one." Dewey did, and he goes, "But this is my wife." He goes, "Yeah, like I said," and he takes his wife. So that happened, but then the Beatles, they're in India.
Yeah. He went like on one of those trips with them.
And it was him and his band, and the Beatles are played by, if I can remember this right.
Jason Schwartzman, is he one of them?
He is. Hold on, let me think here. Paul Rudd is one of the Beatles. Jason Schwartzman. Jack Black played Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Oh, is that right?
Paul Rudd played John Lennon. Jason Schwartzman and I'm forgetting. They're all known actors. Who's the other one?
Justin Long.
Oh, Justin Long. That's right.
And then Jack White was Elvis.
Oh, Jack White was Elvis.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
That's right.
Hey, I didn't catch that. Oh, wow. Well, you know, if I'm gonna bump mine from 3.5 to 3 3/4.
That's what I'm talking
just
about.
from the conversation, because I'm laughing now thinking about it.
And if we talked about it again, you'd probably bump it up another half.
Probably. I'd probably watch it again and think it was even funnier. When he's buying all the animals, he buys a giraffe.
I don't remember this.
Well, he gets a giraffe from playing at like the zoo as a gift. And so he's like, I don't want $5,000. I said, how much for that giraffe? The giraffe's eating. They have a giraffe. They have a monkey because they're doing custody, and all he wants is the monkey.
Yeah, when she leaves, he's like, you can take the children, but leave my monkey.
When they get a divorce?
Here's the funniest part. I forgot the funniest part to me. At the end, he's old, as in out of prime. He's probably 50 or so. And he's sitting there and he's
musically he's a has-been.
He's broken everything in his house. He's turned over the piano. He's smashed all the sinks, all the instruments he's broken. And a kid comes up and goes, "Hey, Dad," because he's got a bunch of kids. He goes, "Can we have a catch?" And he's like, "Man, I think I'd really like to have a catch right now." And he goes, "Great, Dad." And he goes, "But if you don't mind me asking, I hope this isn't inappropriate. What's your name again?" He goes, "I'm Dewey Cox Jr. They call me." So, it was funny. It was really funny.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It had small parts of really funny and a string of pretty funny.
Yeah. You're right. And now thinking back at it, I didn't realize that they were making fun of a bunch of different parodies or biopics.
And just how they work.
Yes.
Because they have to speed to things.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, oh, he's into one note of the song, and the kids are like, "This is the greatest song," and they're all just like dancing. Right. So, Dewey Cox, Walk Hard was good. I would watch Walk the Line first.
Yeah, for sure.
To get some reference, yes.
Yeah.
Where does this rank on like your favorite parody movies? Because it's kind of a weird genre.
I don't know another parody movie.
Like Scary Movie,
Spinal Tap, right?
Not Another Teen Movie, stuff like that. Because I mean, there was like a whole series of them probably around when the time this movie came out. I think it's kind of why it didn't do so well is because a bunch of parody movies were like trying to be like Scary Movie. And
Scary Movie was a parody of what, Scream?
Of Scream, and then they came out with like a parody of like Twilight and epic movies and all that.
Never saw any
all
of
those
them.
strings. And it's
I
like
didn't either.
You're trying to make fun of them, but you're also trying to in kind of return making a bad movie essentially. I think that's why it's hard for them to be successful sometimes.
The best has to be Spaceballs, right?
Don't remember it, but was a parody. I mean, I remember a scene where they're having a sword fight, and they're holding it about their crotch. With
I
those,
see yours.
I see yours is as long
big as mine.
Yeah, whatever it is. Yeah.
What about Airplane?
Airplane's good. Yeah.
Never saw it. I never saw any. I maybe this. I don't consider Spinal Tap though a parody of movies.
No,
I consider it
it's
a parody
not.
of the music at the time.
Yeah. Which is another great one.
So Mike, number one. That's my number one.
Okay, your favorite parody movie.
My favorite one.
Just because you don't watch a lot of them.
We should do like one of these a month and review a music movie.
Yeah.
And but we just gave there are spoilers. So we
But
just
the
gave away whole
movie's pretty old.
But no. But the whole point of it is that we're not going to try to get you to go watch it. We're just kind of talking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can watch it on Netflix.
That's where I
on
watched it.
Netflix?
It's on Netflix now.
I saw also, is Rocket Man on Netflix or something now?
I think it's on Amazon now.
On Amazon for free. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you have Amazon Prime. But I've never seen it, so that's definitely on my list.
I want
Is
to
it
watch
worth it?
Pop Star. I haven't seen it. Pop Star is another one of those they say is really good that didn't get the love it should have got then, but has become a cult classic. It's Lonely Island, and it's basically a parody of Justin Bieber's life.
Oh, didn't know that. It's supposed to be funny?
I think so. I'll Google. But John C. Reilly, I was looking up movies from him real quick because he's really funny, but he's also done serious stuff, right?
Yeah, he's done a bunch of serious
The
stuff.
first time I ever saw him was Days of Thunder.
What was it? I saw he was in that.
He was like, I think in Cole Trickle's Pit team.
Step Brothers, amazing.
Yeah, it's good.
For him.
Raunchy, though.
Did you ever see Step Brother? Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
this is
it's
that movie.
raunchy, dude.
Stan and Ollie was great with John C. Reilly.
Never saw that.
Laurel and Hardy is what it's about. It's sad and it's about their story, their life story. It's like a biopic of Laurel and Hardy.
Okay.
Talladega Nights, obviously. Shake and Bake.
Never saw that.
You never saw Talladega
No,
Nights?
should I put that on the
Talladega
list? No.
Nights?
All right, I'll write
Wow.
that down. I'll write that
Walk
down.
Hard, obviously. Wreck-It Ralph. Was he Ralph in Wreck-It Ralph?
Yeah, he's
Yes,
Ralph.
he's Ralph. Yeah.
Man, he's in some big movies. Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't know what he was in that.
It's a side character.
Chicago.
The musical?
But yeah, the movie, the musical. Boogie Nights, The Perfect Storm, Days of Thunder, Magnolia. He's done a bunch of stuff that's just not straight ahead comedy. But Never Been Kissed, Aviator, The Promotion. Do you know any of these movies?
Aviator, yeah.
Aviator, yeah. Yeah, I saw that one.
And then Perfect
Hoffa.
Storm was good. Hoffa, yeah. Jimmy Hoffa.
Dang, he's been in a bunch of freaking movies.
But he's not a lead. I mean, he wasn't a lead for a long
This
time.
was his first lead.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Walk Hard was?
Yeah, this was his first one.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it was great. I thought he was great in it. All right. Well, we just did 15 minutes talking about a movie. And giving
What's
you
the next one?
I don't
And
know.
it's cool if we pick
We
one-
could do. We don't have to do one a month, but I want to watch Pop Star
Yeah, okay. I'll write that down too.
just in the next week or 2 weeks or so. Well, just come to me. Let me know if you finished it, and when we've all finished it, we'll talk
All right.
about
And
it.
you haven't seen Rocket Man either, right?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, to watch Rocket Man. Let's see, Pop Star movie. It says Never Stop Stopping.
Okay, all right.
It's got 79% of Rotten Tomatoes. Childhood friends Connor, Owen, and Lawrence found fame and fortune after forming the hip-hop group The Style Boys. Owen and Lawrence faded in the background when frontman Connor left the band to launch a successful solo career. Now the egotistical singer decides to film a documentary about his life when he's still on top. When his second album flops, the cameras are to capture his whole world crashing down. Andy Samberg's the lead. That looks like it'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, it does look funny. It sounds
It
funny.
lost money, but Lonely Island's funny to me.
And it is unofficially like Justin Bieber.
I don't know. I guess it could be all of them.
Yeah.
I think Bieber was blowing up at this time, so.
You know which one I thought was really good? It came out a while back, but Jersey Boys. Did you ever watch Jersey Boys?
I saw the play.
Yeah, the movie's really good too.
Frankie Valli.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good
I saw it. It was a Broadway play, but I saw it in Las Vegas.
Is that good? Like plays like
It was
that?
great. It was
Really?
live. It's live and you know all the songs.
Yeah, that's what makes the movie really good too.
All right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this. Probably didn't, but. All right. Hey guys, it's Bobby Bones. Welcome to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and then go check it out. A lot of artists, a lot of songwriters, a lot of music. Welcome to the Bobby Cash channel.